let's just start the review off right now. I am not the target audience for this film. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing Are You There, God? It's me, Margaret. So what's this about? It's a pretty simple premise, actually. You have a girl living in New York, kind of with her grandmother and parents as well. However, they're moving to New Jersey, and they get in a new neighborhood, better house. But now she's in 6th grade, and is womanhood coming up across the horizon? We are about to find out. Will she make friends? Will she kiss a boy? And will womanhood actually come by the end of this film? So, did I like this film? Like I said, I am not the target audience for this film. I think the biggest issue I have with this movie is the messaging and just the overall messaging of the film. I just think it didn't connect as well as it should with the mix of religion and the mix of womanhood. So with that, let's talk about the positives of this movie. I think the directing and the acting overall is the star of the show. So when we talk about the director, she did The Edge of 17 with Woody Harrelson and what's her name? Oh God, why am I dropping her name? Steinfeld. What's her first name? Steinfeld. She's in Bumblebee. Oh my, Haley Steinfeld. Thank you. Holy cow. Fantastic movie. So this one, she's going into a more comedy PG-13 realm. So I think she did a fantastic job with the directing. I do have an issue with how the cinematography is, so I will talk about the negative of the film. But I do think the acting is also fantastic. The main girls, all 4 of them do a great job. Laura does a great job. Then we have Richard McAdams does a fantastic job. And then I think Benny Safdie is one of the brothers. If you recognize him, he was also in Licorice Pizza, as well as he's the director of Uncut Gems and Good Times with Robert Pattinson and Adam Sandler. But I just think the movie itself, I love the 70s aesthetic as well. I'm a sucker for going back in time. Apollo 10 and a half. Movies like this. I just like the aesthetics of the old cars, the old costumes, the old furniture. Something about it just gets me more involved in the movie, because if I see all this modern bullshit stuff, I'll say it right now, all these modern looking cars, ugly, fugly to a freaking max. But when you see these nice 70s aesthetics, I kind of enjoy it. And so I enjoyed the aspect of it. So, like I said, I'm going into this totally. I'm a dude watching a movie about a 12-year-old, or was it, 12-year-old trying to get her period and understand to wear a bra. So there is stuff in this where I'm like, I'm a dude. I shouldn't be watching this. It's kind of uncomfortable. So I'm like, oh, it's like, I kind of was like on my phone with some of the uncomfortable scenes, because like, I'm a dude. She's like 12 or playing 12-year-old. I don't need to be watching these scenes whatsoever. Just no, I'm not a pedo. I know the UN might be doing some shit with pedos, but, where's Epstein's list? That's all I'm going to say on that level. But when we talk about the messaging and the overall cinematography, I have the more problem with the messaging. So let's talk about the cinematography. When watching this movie, watch the foreheads. You never see the whole face in this movie. Like, it gets cut off right here. I don't know if it was intentional, but when watching the movie, I'm like, why are we stopping here? Why can't I see the whole forehead, or why can't I see the top of the head? There are some scenes where it just stops in the middle of the forehead, which I'm like, can we get a better wide angle, or, better aspect ratio? Because it just didn't look good whatsoever with what they're trying to go for. So I don't know what it was. Was it an accident? Was it a cinematography error? They're like, yeah, we're just going to go throughout the whole movie and do it this way. But I just wasn't a big fan of it. And then finally, the messaging. Okay, I am not a hypocrite. I don't like double standards. So if I call out another movie for doing this, for example, Significant Other, first world problems bullshit. This is the same thing with this movie. The whole point of this movie is the girl Margaret is saying, dear God, I want boobs. Dear God, let my period happen. Dear God, XYZ is going to occur. And the whole point, God is not answering her questions. Well, maybe God's not answering your questions because he has more important stuff to do, or you're not the nicest person to a couple other people in this movie. So God is thinking, why should I help you when you're not helping these other people? And why should I help you when you actually have a pretty good life in New Jersey and a nice house and a loving parents and a loving grandmother? So that message where I'm just like, at least in like movies like Black Phone, where the girl gets mad at God, but then she's like, oh my God, I'm sorry, God. This one, yeah, you could kind of have that thing at the end where she's like, God, are you still there? Thank you. But the thank you just felt forced and superficial. So the whole messaging of this film of she's trying to find religion because the teacher told her to write an essay, because one side of her family is Jewish, the other side of the family is Catholic, and of course they don't get along whatsoever. And I do feel like they do more, they put the Jewish people more in a nicer light in this movie than the Catholics. So I also had it wasn't even on whatsoever in this film. But to me, it was the overall messaging of the film of, this pity party bullshit. Now I'll say it again. I don't care if you're a 12-year-old. Realize how good you have it. Realize that, maybe you need to change some things in your life for maybe stuff to occur to have that good karma. But, just relying on, God to do this stuff for you when you don't do anything in return. That's where I have an issue with that in life as well, as where if you have a solution or have a problem, you better have some kind of solution. I just hate people that complain, and they stop. So you're like, okay, I see you complaining. What are you going to do to try to fix it? Oh, then that means you need to fix yourself. So anyway, are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. I'll say it again. I'll say it with 80 for Brady. I'll say it with this. I am not the target audience for it. Did I laugh in some scenes? Yes. I think I will enjoy the Rachel McAdams, Benny Safdie, if I'm saying his last name correct. I'm so sorry if I'm not. Their dynamic completely worked. I really enjoyed that. But when it came to the overall messaging of the religious aspect and the girl and what she's praying for, and it just felt off. And throughout the whole time, I felt like I shouldn't be watching some scenes in this movie. So, kind of uncomfortable for a dude watching what this 12-year-old is trying to do. So, are you there, God? It's me, Margaret, will receive a 2.5 out of 5 with Futons. Equals at 50%. Let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. So, no critics right now, but audience score 100% with fewer than 50. Nah, this ain't a 100% movie. Maybe I'm the only dude doing it right now. So we'll put it that way. 50, 0 reviews, or 100. Chase out with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't know if things Futon told you. Futon, think about a great day. It makes you wonder how many, people are actually going to watch this review. Be like, a dude's reviewing this movie. Screw his opinion. Do what you want with it. But I'll still love you if you watch it today, tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, or a year from now. Because I love every single one of you. Except if you're part of the UN wanting to normalize having sex with minors. Disgusting.